Hi, this is Dr. Steve Horowitz, and I'm going to give you a little tutorial on the BioPhotonic Scanner. The BioPhotonic Scanner will come directly from corporate in this beautiful case. It has a nice extension piece, and it's on wheels, so that when you're wheeling it, it'll wheel just fine. Lower that down, and now I'm going to open the case so you can see exactly what's in it. It's got several nice pockets. Top pocket here. A little pocket for papers that we keep inside, and here are the main pockets. This pocket comes with the laptop. Yes, a laptop does come with the scanner, and we're going to show you the entire setup. I'm going to push this away, and we'll put the laptop right over here for now. Then if we close that part of the case, and we open up the main part of the case, this is what comes in the main part of the case. In here is the scanner itself. So we'll take the scanner out right here. And we'll put the laptop this way so I can show you the connections. And in these little pockets are the power cord for the laptop and the power cord for the scanner, as well as the scanning piece for the little BioPhotonic Scanner cards, which we'll show you, as well as the little device, the USB that connects the scanner to the laptop. So, you can see the setup. First we will put in the connector piece from the scanner right back here to the laptop. USBs on this laptop are right on the back. Then we have the scanning device for the scan cards, which goes into another USB port on the back. And then we have the two power supplies. Here is the power supply to the laptop itself, which just goes right back here, like any other laptop. Now, just so you know, this laptop is dedicated to the scanner, meaning you cannot use this laptop for any other purpose other than to use it with the scanner. And now we have power supply to the scanner, and that goes right back in here to the left of the USB connection. And we plug that in, and you will see how on the side of the scanner the light will go on. Now, I will turn everything around so you can see everything from the front. And we will open up the laptop. We'll turn the laptop on, and we will show you that it will boot up, and it's going to go directly to the screen to which you start the scanner process. While that is booting up, I'm going to get a card out so I can show you what the scanner cards look like. You can see the boot up will be pretty quick, about 30 seconds or so, and it'll go right to the screen that we need to be in. Here we go, it's starting, and here it comes. It will boot up in just a moment. While it's doing that, here's a picture of the scanner card, like this. We'll go over that more in a second. I'll leave it right here. So here we have the boot up. We have a little menu on the bottom left. Bring the cursor to the menu. Right click and go to the part that says scan. Go ahead and get a little more close up of that. So we're going to click on scan, and now it's going to come to a warm-up screen. And if we pan in a little bit, you'll see right here where my finger is, it says Start Warm-Up Process. And we'll go ahead and click on the Start Warm-Up Process. While you're warming up, another important point, let's pan over to the scanner. There is a little cover to the scanner where my thumb is here. Very important to keep that cover on. We're going to take it off in a few moments when we actually do the first scan. So the warm-up process takes approximately 5 minutes, and while it's warming up, I'm going to give you a brief history of the scanner and a brief how to use it in your office. So the BioPhotonic Scanner has a very interesting history. It is based on Nobel Prize winning technology. there was a scientist, an Indian scientist named Sir C.V. Raman, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1930 for discovering something called Raman scatter. And what Raman scatter basically is that when you shine a light of a certain wavelength, that wavelength of light can excite a chemical structure, cause a shift in the photons, and if that shift in the photons in the wavelength is measured, it will give you a measurement of that chemical structure. Really quite exciting discovery. So if we fast forward from the 1930s to 1995, the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, gave a grant to the University of Utah's Medical Biooptics Lab. And at the time, they were looking at risk factors for macular degeneration. The macula is kind of the sweet spot of the retina of the eye. And what was known at the time was that if the carotenoid level, and the carotenoids are the antioxidants found in the colorful fruits and vegetables, if the carotenoid level of the macula was low, that was a direct risk for getting macular degeneration, which is a leading cause of blindness in the elderly. So what the scientists did was use Sir C.V. Raman's Nobel Prize winning research, and they discovered the wavelength that would excite the carotenoid molecules of the macula. They were able to measure that shift in the wavelength, and in that way they were able to determine the carotenoid level of the macula of the eye. Very exciting stuff. Bunch of smart scientists, what they were able to do is say, well, if we could measure it in the eye, then we should be able to measure it in the skin. And what they did was they were able to figure out a way to measure it in the skin, which enabled them to tell the person that was being measured what their tissue saturation of carotenoids was. And they called that the skin carotenoid score. Then they went backwards and did a whole lot of research to show that when compared to blood work and when compared to gas chromatography, they were able to say this scanner is actually more accurate as a measurement for determining the carotenoid level in the skin, more accurate than either blood work or gas mass spectrometry chromatography. So very, very, very exciting stuff. Why is this important? Because if you go to Google and you Google any disease, you will find that a low level of antioxidants is associated with risk factors for that disease. And you can even go one step further. There is a website that all of you should know about. It's called PubMed, like a pub where you drink some alcohol, PubMed.gov. It's a government-sponsored site that is a search engine for all medical scientific research. And what you can look up on PubMed.gov is the abstract, and the abstract is the summary paragraph that's at the beginning of all medical scientific research. It summarizes what was being studied, how it was being studied, what the results were, and what conclusion the scientists developed from doing that study. And if you go to PubMed and you type in carotenoids and any disease, you can type in carotenoids and macular degeneration, carotenoids and any psychological disorder, carotenoids and heart disease, carotenoids and cancer, you will find a direct relationship between low carotenoid levels to that disease. So this scanner is based on some very significant research. It's very exciting because it's a very accurate biomarker of health. So you can see the warm-up process is done. It goes by percentages. We're already at 85, 86%. And at 100% the warm-up process will be done. How to use it in the office? Well, very simply, what I've done in my office is I've added $20 to my initial new patient charge. So whatever my old new patient charge was, I added $20 to that so that the person will get the scan in the office. Now, I don't necessarily scan the patients on the very first visit, because if somebody comes to me and they're having acute symptoms, it might not be the right time to scan them on the very first visit. So I may scan them on the second visit or the third visit, but they've already paid for that, and they love it, especially when I do it on the second or third visit, that they feel like they're getting that scan as kind of a bonus, but what I've already done is made it part of the initial charges. So here you can see that the warm-up process is done. We're at 100%. You'll see the screen say warm-up complete. Then what we're going to do is click OK. And we're going to click OK again, and this screen says you are performing the scan operator scan. This scan should only be of the hand of the scan operator of this scanner. So when you get the scanner in your office, you, the doctor that have gotten the scanner, you are the scan operator, and anybody in your office that you designate, because you can have multiple scan operators. So I'm going to click OK a second time, and you can see that my name is listed as the scan operator. There's a drop-down menu that lists other people in my office that are scan operators, and then I'm going to put my distributor number in there, so we're going to pan out so frankly you cannot see that. And then all I do is hit the continue button, and then we're ready to start an operator scan. So what we're going to do is do an operator scan, and here's the part that I want to show you. There's a little cap on the scanner. So I'm going to take this cap off because we're ready to start the scan. You want to keep the cap on until you are ready to do the scan. I'm going to use this part of my hand. So here's a little pinky, 5th digit. I'm going to come down most of the way toward the thumb and use that little sweet spot. I'm going to place my hand on it. You see the blue light. I'm going to place my hand on it, very gently cup the machine, and just keep soft pressure. And then I'm going to click the button that says Start Scan. And you can see that the scan is starting. Here are the percentages. It says operator scan scanning. It's going to take 90 seconds. So what we do in the office is when the person is scanned, we place their hand here, and while they're being scanned, they're going to have to give you some demographic information because the device is going to ask you their height, their weight, etc. We'll make another video showing that. What they also do is they'll watch the Dr. Oz video, and if you go on YouTube and just type in Dr. Oz BioPhotonic Scanner, you'll come up with multiple videos, and it's just a 5-minute clip from the Dr. Oz show showing the scanner being used on the show. And it's a very, very good video for patient education, and what Dr. Oz has done is he scanned the entire studio audience, and he's given all of the studio audience a t-shirt that matches the color of their scan score. And when the scan is done, you're going to see what I mean by the color of their scan score. So each person was given a t-shirt, a red, an orange, a yellow, a green, or a blue t-shirt matching their scanner score. And what he used that for was to educate everybody on the need for antioxidants. As for that show, it was to educate them on risk factors for cancer. So a low antioxidant level puts you at definite risk for cancer. So when a patient sees that video, they see it was on the Dr. Oz show, and it validates the technology for them. So you can see, here's the scan. We're going to click on OK. And we can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and there's the scan score on the right. We can pan in there. There's my score for the moment, 67,000, pretty high score. And that's how to set up the BioPhotonic Scanner. Once we hit continue from this point, we'll talk about one other thing. Once we're done with the scan, I take my hand off and we put the cap back on. Very important after the scan is done to put the cap back on. We're going to hit continue, and now the device is ready to be used for a scan on a patient, and we'll make another video on that. Thanks for watching, and enjoy using the scanner in your office.